A very good evening to each and every one of you joining me, Miss Belinda Scandal, for this week's episode of Your Manchester. We have got a corker of a show to you today. We've been lucky enough to speak to some of the cast from Hairspray that's coming to Manchester very soon. And we're excited about that. We're going to be speaking to Solomon, Davy, and of course Neil Hurst as well, who's playing Edna. Oh yes indeed. Our Mark's had a little venture into Armed Forces Day to see what that is all about. And yes indeed, oh yes it is, oh no it isn't. Pantos are beginning to launch, and we were lucky enough to be treated to the press day of the Stockport Plaza's launch of Sleeping Beauty starring Wendy Peters. This is how your show's looking. The wonderful musical Hairspray is coming back to town very soon, and we are excited to have Link Larkin himself joining us here now. This is Solomon Davy. Welcome to the show, Solomon. How are you?
I'm great. I'm very happy to be here. How are you?
You are playing the heartthrob of this entire show. What does that pressure feel like?
Well, it's definitely a lot of pressure. It's the same as any show, really. You just want to do a good job. So, yeah, it's a bit of pressure, but it's good pressure. It's exciting pressure. It's daunting, but in the best way. So yeah, it's just a mixture of a lot of emotions, excitement, bit of nerves, but the right nerves, because we care about putting on a good show. So yeah.
Well, as much as it comes across as a very, intensely fun musical, there is a beautiful story behind this, isn't there? For those people that haven't seen the movie, haven't seen the show at all in any of its incarnations, give us a little brief look into what the story looks like and why it's important for so many people to feel inclusive within the show.
Yeah, so the show is essentially about being inclusive to all different types of people, particularly it tackles diversity and inclusivity of body types. The show is essentially about a girl, Tracy, who it's set in the 60s. It's about a girl, Tracy, who is very fun-loving and just passionate in every sense of the word, and is considered at the time unsuitable to be on TV because she's overweight. And yeah, she meets these kids who are part of a record shop group who are segregated from the show. They're all black kids, and they have one day a week on this show called the Coronation Streets, where they dance and sing, and it's predominantly a white show, and they have one day a week where they get to do their thing. And Tracy's just why is that a thing? Why shouldn't they be allowed to be just a part of the group and be involved with the white kids and the kids who are on the show regularly? Link is one of the show's favorites, who's on the show regularly. And she meets him through the show, gets involved with the show, and then it's essentially the story of the integration of black performers into this show, it's a beautiful story. It's got a lot of, even though it's very fun and exciting and upbeat and a little bit cheesy classic musical theatre, it's got really serious undertones.
You seem to be stuck in the 50s and the 60s at the moment with a lot of your castings, don't you? I mean, you were playing Kaniki not too long ago in Greece, and now you've moved on to the 60s. Are we expecting some Saturday Night Fever from the 70s from you after this run?
No comment. No comment. Maybe though.
Now, this is coming to us from the 16th to the 27th of July, and it's coming to the Palace Theatre. In just a couple of words, why should people come and spend their hard-earned cash on this wonderful show, other than yourself, looking very lovely?
Thank you. I'd say the cast. I'd say the cast is amazing. Everyone has to say that. It's just what you do when you sell in the show. But honestly, this cast is incredible. Every day I'm in the room, I'm I can't believe I'm surrounded by these people, because I'm not just saying it. The cast is incredible, and everyone's, so talented and perfect for their role. And also, it's a feel-good show. It's got some great tunes in it. You're guaranteed a good time. So.
And playing Edna in Hairspray is Mr. Neil Hurst. Welcome to the show, Neil. How are you?
Oh, I'm very, very happy. I mean, I can't believe it. This is my moment. This is it. I'm being interviewed by Belinda Scandal. Parkinson, Wogan.
Oh, Could you imagine? Yeah, we were speaking to Solomon was just telling us how exciting it is to be on this lovely show, but you've actually requested to be on this. That's because we've known each other for forever.
I know. I need some tips off you about walking in these heels. I'm like Bambi on ice at the minute.
It's all about lifting yourself, tilting forward slightly. That's the way to do it.
Only
If you
problem is
tilt
I'm
forward,
quite
then your
fat.
body tells you to go backwards. How are you finding the costumes and the character?
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They've made me a fat suit. I've been working on my own fat suit for the past 40 years, but they said it wasn't enough. So I've got this fat suit. I've got fabulous pair as well. So I'm getting used to it all. But the heels are tricking me a little bit. But I mean, we're having an absolute scream, honestly. And I can't believe we're opening in Manchester. I mean, it doesn't get any better, does it?
Suddenly you're doing, I think I've seen you in about 3,000 things over the last couple of years.
I was recently out on tour with the Full Monty.
Yes.
So I was playing a stripper, and now I'm playing a mum. So my kids are very proud. In fact, apparently I'm cool. I'm a cool dad, apparently.
Yeah.
Well...
That's because you're doing drag. What is the secret of this musical? Why has it been so successful, do you think, over the many, many years it's been going?
That it's the best show. And as I've been rehearsing it, I think, they're right, it's the best show. There's something for everybody. There's kids can enjoy it, mums and dads can enjoy it, grandma and granddad can enjoy it. There's really something for everybody. It's got a great message about it as well. And it's just a right good, fun night out at the theatre. What more can you wish for?
Edna's story, it's a brilliant story. It's a story that I've said to a few Ednas that I've met over the past few years. It is very much my life. So tell everybody that don't know, what is Edna's life and what is her character? What is her purpose within this wonderful musical?
Well, she spent the last 20 years cleaning and washing and mending and ironing other people's clothes, but she always had the dream that one day she could bring out her own dresses and her own dress patterns because she wanted to design them. But it's got to that point where, and with all of us, you're at a point in your life you think, oh, I wish I'd have done this, I wish I'd have done that. And now she's seeing somebody, her daughter, doing the things she wanted to do and making that stand and being somebody wonderful. And it inspires Edna. She comes out and there's this big number, Welcome to the 60s, where Edna comes out and actually becomes the person she always wanted to be. So brilliant.
In a few words, why should people come and watch this particular version of Hairspray?
Because this particular version has me in it. No, because it's a fun night out. Everybody loves it. It's something for all the family, and it tells a really important and still very, very important and still very relevant message.
Oh, listen, I wanted to come and see this. I really did. And we've been invited to see it. But unfortunately, I can't be there because I'll be on Canal Street actually doing my show. So I can't be there.
Well, we'll just have to come to you afterwards. We've been saying that. We're going to have a night out one night and mooch down to Canal Street and have a good old party.
I'll be there all that Thursday. Lovely. I will be there. So come and check us out. In the meantime, Neil, thanks so much for this today. Thank you so much.
No, thanks. I feel like a superstar now. Thank you for having us.
Well, as last week proved, everybody, we have got a wonderful season of Coronation Street coming your way, and we are gearing up for some very, very important storylines. One of them featuring a cult. Yes, I said that correct, a cult. And that cult is led by bad boy, Emrys Cooper. Now, I bet you came into this thinking that you'd have such a lovely time and your character would be absolutely the Angel Gabriel of Coronation Street, didn't you?
That's exactly what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And where have we got to now with it then?
He's a evil, manipulative bastard, can I say that?
Yeah. I think you just did, and that's exactly what he is though, isn't it?
Yeah. But, he thinks he's doing it for the greater good, so, I mean, he's doing the best he can.
So now you've kind of done this for a good few months then. We're using the word cult a lot. Have you bought into the fact that you want to call it an organisation, or to you as an actor, is it still definitely a cult, or are you starting to see it through his eyes a little bit?
Well, I don't think they never think it's a cult, but I, as the actor, could call it a cult. But I believe that, he wants to distance his victims from his family. He wants to alter their reality, so there's a lot of cult traits.
Yeah.
Do I think he believes it's a cult? I think he's pretty switched on to what he's doing.
I find it fascinating that he's managed to pick on one of the strong women within the show. I mean, Leanne's renowned for being feisty. She's down to earth. She's down to the point. Why do you think he's decided to hone in on her?
Well, I think, he could sense when he first met her at the Chariot Hotel that she's got quite a lot of demons. She kind of opened up about that, and he saw that she was potentially vulnerable, and with Simon being interested, he saw a way in to get her, and he managed to hook her in. He's very calculated and manipulative. So yeah, it was interesting because I think a lot of the people were surprised that it would be Leanne, but he's good at his job, and he saw that she had some areas that he knew how to tap into.
How much information do you get about what the storyline, the character, and everything's going to be before you sign on the dotted line to say you're going to be part of Coronation Street?
So when I got the audition for Corrie, I got a breakdown of what the character description was, and it hinted at he was a cult leader or involved with an organization. And my parents were in a cult 20 years ago, and I'd actually made a movie about a kind of cult leader 3 years ago called The Shrew Retreat. So it was a subject, and I've always been just very fascinated because of my upbringing and just seeing a lot of Rowan-type figures coming in and out of the household was very discombobulating, and I didn't feel safe sometimes because of that. So there are certain roles you audition for that you have a connection to that kind of fit like a glove, and I knew that character and world very well. So when I auditioned, I felt very confident that it was something I cared about, and I was passionate about telling that story. And just luckily, Coronation Street saw it too. Yeah. They didn't know anything about my cult experience or my movie. Yeah, it was actually when we had my first interview with the producer. It was like exciting when they heard that.
Now, obviously, with a storyline like this, the baddie normally comes to a bit of a sticky end. But we want to see more of you in this. So, how long do you think we've got left of yourself and your character? Indeed, the other way, how long would you like to see it go on for?
Well, I'm having the time of my life, honestly. This has been a dream come true, playing this role, being on Corrie. I grew up with it, and I'm having an incredible time. So I kind of do know how it ends for him, and we've got a little bit of a stretch to go, but it's not going to go on for that much longer. Would I like to come back as would there be a redemption story? Yeah, who knows? Maybe he'll be a changed man, because we're going to find out some more about Rowan, and maybe some other things will come out soon. But yeah, I've had such a good time, so it's a win just being here, and I've met so many amazing people. I've learned a lot, and they've just been so welcoming. So, it's a great environment to work.
Now, it may not be panto time until December. Oh, no, it isn't. But, of course, theatres are gearing up and enacting their cast. And here we are at the fantastic Stockport Plaza with the cast of Sleeping Beauty.
We love it. We've been producing and directing pantomimes for years. I do Middlesbrough. We're doing Slow Up. David doing this. And this is one of my favourite pantomimes. Absolutely. So what a fantastic.
So, star of the show,
yeah,
the most evil one in the panto, of course, is Wendy Peters.
Oh, she will be. Yeah, I love doing panto. I've been doing panto now for 35, 40 years, but it's always good to play the wicked character. You just get to be really nasty and try and make the children cry.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's just that you've only got to walk on stage and you've got the audience in the palm of your hands.
Absolutely.
So do you enjoy that kind of manipulating the audience along?
I do a little bit, and obviously we're all scripted for a panto, but it's always nice if there's a few little ad-libs, a couple of heckles, not like a lot of heckling, but a couple of heckles from the audience is always good, and, heckling, and, you can have a big shout back and have fun, really.
Absolutely. And, of course, some fantastic costumes, I'm sure.
Yeah, no. I mean, this one's marvellous, isn't it? And apparently I've got 4.
Really?
Yeah, which is quite a surprise for a wicked character. It's usually a worker and a finale, but I've got 4. Oh, hang on. 4 costumes. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be fabulous.
So, Daniel, you're playing Prince Florizel.
Prince Florizel, yes, that's right. I have to remember that. It's not Prince Charming this year, it's Prince Florizel.
Which is the original name and is why Coronation Street was going to be called Florizel Street, because the creator had a print of the prince in Sleeping Beauty on his bedroom wall. So there you are. You have a link to Wendy in Coronation Street.
Every day now, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're playing Prince. It's all dashing stuff. Do you know? Yes.
Yeah.
Have you done Prince before?
Yes, a few times. I was with Extravaganza last year in Middlesbrough, where I played Prince Charming in Cinderella, which was great fun. And I played Prince Charming in a few different productions of Snow White as well, actually, around the UK. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, are you going to be singing in the show?
Yes, I think so. I hope so, yeah.
But you don't know what yet?
Don't know what yet. Need to get our scripts.
Yeah.
And,
So you've done lots of panto. What's the best thing about being in a panto?
It's just great as an adult just to still have that sort of magic around Christmas time and have that joy and that sort of back and forth with the audience and just sort of keep some of that sparkle alive, really, and be part of, the next generation's sort of Christmases and things like that, yeah.
Absolutely. And this is a perfect theatre for the panto, isn't it?
Beautiful.
I mean, it's kind of as beautiful as the scenery and costumes, isn't it?
Stunning, yeah, absolutely stunning.
So we're now with Josh, who's playing Dane.
I am Queen Hermione this year, the fabulous Dame here at the Stockport Plaza.
One of the best queens in panto.
So I've been told.
Now, I was reading before that you saw the fantastic friend of mine, John Inman, in panto, and that's what inspired you, is that right?
Absolutely, yes. I saw him in Snow White, I think it was at Woking, and I just fell in love, and that's when I knew I wanted to do this for a living. Who doesn't want to dress up and wear fabulous frocks like this?
Well, now, this fabulous theatre is managed by, well, I'm going to say Ted Dome, but I'm going to say Supremo. Really, I think that's you.
Yes, that will work. I can put that on my business card. I like that. Thank you.
So, you're dressed. This is sort of what you wear every day, isn't it?
It is actually. This is my day wear. This is all the rage in Stockport. So,
So, fabulous theatre. You do some fabulous shows here. I think you've probably got one of the most diverse sort of lists, really, of productions throughout the year, haven't you?
Absolutely. I mean, the venue was built in 1932 as a super cinema and variety theatre, and we still do exactly what the people who created this magnificent Art Deco gem, what they created in 1932, we are still doing it to this day. And of course the venue was saved in 2000. It was a derelict building saved by the community, run by a charitable trust. So yeah, it's a nice, good, eclectic mix of programme.
And how important is the panto to the theatre?
It is hugely important. Oh, yes, it is. We're very proud of the pantomimes that we have. Extravaganza Productions put on beautiful productions. This year with Wendy Peters and Sleeping Beauty.
My second year at Stockport, and it's like I think you just hit the nail on the head. A good traditional panto, slapstick, ease behind you, ghost gag, all the traditional stuff brought into a new way as well. Obviously, a lot of people are changing the way they do pantos, but what Extravaganza are really good at is, like you just said, just keeping the tradition and keeping the old school alive. Really, really good production.
It is beautiful.
I know, it's a lovely theatre, isn't it? Perfect
stunning.
for panto.
Yes, yeah, absolutely beautiful. But from both sides, looking at the stage, but for us to look out at this auditorium every day is just a joy, absolute joy.
And do you know what you're going to be singing in the panto yet?
I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be singing. I'm sure there'll be a few numbers to have a good shout and sing at. No, because I love my singing. It's one of my favourite things, yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing, because I've seen you in a few musicals along the way. And, of course, you're currently in Sister Act as well, aren't you?
I am, yes.
A few more dates to go of that?
Yeah, I'm on tour with Sister Act until October 6th. Then I'll get a few weeks off, a nice bit of rest, so I'm recharged and ready for the panto run. So, Sister Act's going really well, but looking forward to taking off the habit, as it were, from Mother Superior and putting some sequins on, being a bit more glamorous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want that.
I know, absolutely, yeah.
So Coronation Street is obviously the thing that most people know you from, the fantastic character of Scylla. You must have had great fun. I remember you in Blanche's mobility scooter and all kinds of stuff.
In the canal.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to have injections for about 3 weeks before that to make sure I didn't pick anything up from the canal. I mean, what can I say? She was great fun to play. She was an absolute nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're doing reruns at the moment on ITV3 and Scylla's just come in. And I never really watched it religiously when I was in it because you're far too busy. But I've dipped into a bit and just gone, goodness, she was really horrible, wasn't she?
She was.
Fun.
But she was sort of panto-esque in that you got the humour out of it, didn't you?
Hopefully, yes. There was that panto-esque and people loved to hate her. And hopefully they didn't just hate her. They loved to hate her. She's no redeeming features whatsoever. No, but it was great fun.
What? Oh, I am wrapping it up.
We're wrapping it up.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the end of you.
So
So, go on then, yes. So, you're here for about a month?
we're here for about a month. Sleeping Beauty at the Plaza in Stockport. I'm playing the Wicked Fairy Carros. In fact, the actual dates are Friday the 6th of December to Sunday the 5th of January.
Very impressed.
Are you? Just turn round.
That was it.
You're not that impressed.
Well, I mean, it's reading. That's very
I can read. Yeah, Wendy Pieces can read. Yeah.
exclusive there for everybody.
So yeah, we're here all over Christmas, 2 shows a day. Come down and see us, please. You'll have a great time.
Is down here at the Plaza at Stockport. Sleeping Beauty, the 6th of December till the 5th of January 2025. I'll see you there. Bells on. Get your tickets now. Get yourself down here. All right, Stockport.
Well, of course, last week was Armed Forces Day, and our Mark was doing his duties at one of them events, and this is how it looked.
So today we're out in Denton in the borough of Tameside, where it's Armed Forces Day. In fact, it's Armed Forces Day right the way across the country, and parades and events like this that both promote things like cadet services and charities that work for veterans and so on, all come together to say thank you, but also that the armed services say thank you to the public. So every year this happens. It's been running for quite a few years now, and is supported here in Tameside by the local authority, Tameside Council. My pleasure to be here today and to meet some of the veterans and to hear all about their work.
Well, thank you very much, Mark. Absolutely fantastic that we do celebrate the people that put themselves forward to join the forces here in our country and indeed our great region. Unfortunately, we are out of time for today, but join us next week. We'll be speaking to Rob Madge, amongst others. You're in for a treat. Check out the podcast, check out the website. We've got a little something for you next week from And Juliet as well. So it's all going on here on Manchester's most successful and brilliant, wonderful talk show, simply known as Your Manchester.